Hey, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Jera, and on this channel, I talk specifically to introverts that are quietly rebuilding their lives outside of traditional norms. So for me, I come from a background of working over 15 years in corporate America. Started off in higher education. No, sorry, I started off in accounting, accounts payable, payroll, then moved to higher education. Then from there, I was in HR. Then from there, my last job in corporate was in tech sales. So I am now a cleaning company owner. I've had my company now for about a year and 3 months or so. And let me talk to you about how rebuilding my life taught me about peace. And let me just clarify something. Just because I'm at peace now with my life does not mean that everything is perfect. It just means that I'm more aligned in the path that I am choosing for myself with my life instead of living up to societal norms and expectations. So in the past, I defined success because I was conditioned or brainwashed to define success as going to college, graduating college, getting a good job, and moving up the ranks, climbing the corporate ladder, getting promotions and things of that nature. It wasn't until I was in my late 30s. I'm now 42 years old. And it wasn't until I was about 37 or 38 when but right before I moved to Phoenix for a job that I got accepted for. I got a job offer in Phoenix, Arizona, few years back. And it was a little bit before that during the pandemic. Yes, I say it pandemic. If you know, you know, is when I just really started to wake up and just ask myself, looking back, now that I think about it, I don't know if it was a midlife crisis or an awakening. It could have been both. But I remember just asking myself, is this the life I want to continue to live? Working these jobs that I'm not fulfilled in just to feel like I've checked off something on this checklist or this list of things we're supposed to do with our lives at a certain age. At that time, I was a homeowner. Right now, I stay in a studio apartment and I'm totally happy with this. But in the past, like before I moved to Phoenix, I was in a townhouse, had my own house. Um, Discovered I really didn't need all that space, and it wasn't nothing but a two-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse, but it had two levels and just a lot of space I didn't really need for myself. I prefer living alone. I don't have any children, no spouse, things of that nature. And I'm like, I came to the realization that I don't really need all this stuff. Why am I getting all this stuff? I was completely unhappy with my job. So I thought that moving to a different place, a different time zone, a different area would fix that. It was of course, it was a new environment. It was a fresh environment, but I just knew that when I landed there and started getting a little bit acclimated, that I would not be living in Phoenix for an entire lifetime. So it just wasn't my forever place. I learned a lot of things about myself there. So I am grateful for the experience, but just saying all that, it just further confirmed to me that I needed to go within more. I needed to truly tap into myself and discover my strengths, my weaknesses more, instead of just focusing on external things, what people expected of me to do, what society told me I needed to do because I was a certain age. And I just, shut everything down. I took my sabbatical. I got off social media for a long time. I was only on YouTube. That was my only source of social media. And I just really, like I said, tapped into myself, did a lot of meditating, a lot of reading, a lot of listening to people like Jim Rohn, Joe Dispenza, Les Brown, people like that on YouTube. So I just really drenched my mind, saturated my mind with a lot of positivity. And like I said, read a lot of books to try to figure out what it is I wanted to do with my life that was going to bring me peace and not chaos, not uncertainty, and definitely not a lot of stress. Okay. So the process of rebuilding my life for me looks like I said, shutting everything down, did some traveling, did some quiet traveling, didn't post nothing on social media. Then after that is when I took my sabbatical further into moving to Alaska, where I got hired as a housekeeper. And I found that seasonal job through coolworks.com. I will go ahead and link that website in the description. I don't get a kickback or nothing from that. I'm just doing it from the goodness of my heart so I can share with people who want to make a change in their life to discover what it is that they want to do. It's not just housekeeping jobs on that platform or on that website. They have, unique type seasonal jobs like dog sledding. You can do some dog sledding in Alaska, of course, during the colder weather months. But of course, in addition to that, they have housekeeping, they have front desk type jobs. And with coolworks.com is where you can go on there and find these temporary seasonal jobs in places that don't have a lot of residents, kind of like rural areas in the United States. It's nothing overseas, okay? So it's rural areas that don't have a lot of residents, enough residents to work these jobs. So they hire people from around the United States to come in. Some of them include housing, some include food, some include both. So it's just up to you on what you're looking for and what you can find on that website. Again, it's called coolworks.com, and just go on there, find a job that you want, apply for it, interview. And the interview process is only like one interview. It didn't take a whole round of interviews, like with corporate America, wasting your time. So that's another good plus about that. Again, if you're looking to change something in your life or just looking to reset and rebuild, I highly recommend you doing that. So going back to what rebuilding my life looked like for me was that taking that sabbatical, traveling, housekeeping in Alaska really allowed me to clear my mind and get rid of all the noise that was going on that, just a lot I was dealing with internally. And it allowed me space and time to think, to discover who I truly am and what I'd be good at. And through reading a book titled, oh gosh, I can't think of the title right now, but I see it in my mind. I'm going to link that book in the description also. But oh, it was called The Life You Were Born to Live by Dan Miller. Through reading that book, based on some numbers that I calculated, I can't really think of the terminology right now, but based on some numbers that I calculated based on my birth date, that book revealed to me that I would thrive in three areas of a career field, which were being an entrepreneur, being a teacher, as well as being a writer as well. So if you know me, like know me, you know that I've written three books already. I've self-published three books. One of those books is now currently out of print, but you can find the other two books on Amazon. And those links are also in the description. So reading that book, as well as others during my sabbatical, just showed me or revealed to me who I am. It reveals to me this person that I've been suppressing for so many years, just trying to people please and do stuff that was expected of me instead of what I truly enjoy doing. So I never made writing a career, but like I said, I did publish or self-publish some books. And right now I am an entrepreneur and I was a teacher. I was a substitute teacher for a while as well. So with that said, I feel like I have fully rebuilt my life in a manner that is true to me. And I'm so grateful for that. And when I compare entrepreneurship to corporate life, the peace is just unmatched. Through conversations I have with people from attending Chamber of Commerce meetings and events, the conversations, they just hit different with entrepreneurs opposed to, some coworkers I had the experience of speaking to. Some of those experiences were pleasant, very few and far between, while the others were just, I'm like, oh my God, can we talk about something else? What else do you want to talk about? But anyway, comparing entrepreneurship to corporate life, like I said, the conversations just hit different. Business people tend to be more positive and talk about things that's going to elevate your life, not gossip and negativity. Business people, or I guess the business people I've had the pleasure of speaking to, they don't, they avoid drama and they're very smart as well. They come with a ton of resources that have helped me with my business and my life in general, if I'm being quite honest. And I hope that some of the advice I share with them help them as well. So just being in those type of rooms, having those type of conversations just really adds to the peace that I now have in my life as an entrepreneur. You see, the truth about corporate America is that it's very taxing mentally. You can't just go to work, do your job, and go home. It allows very little time for creativity as well, which is also very draining. And corporate America tends to reward those who conform to certain rules that some that don't even make sense. It rewards those that conform and those that perform as well. And I just don't have time for that. I have no interest in that at all.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
As an introvert, it is so important for me to protect my peace, protect my energy, and to do work that feels aligned with what it is that I truly want to do and what I'm good at. Being a cleaning business owner, a solo cleaning business owner, has just again brought me so much peace. And I'm sure that there are some people that frown their nose up and wonder, why does she leave a good corporate job to work, to clean toilets and to work as a housekeeper? And to those people, I say that those jobs only look good on paper. I was dealing with so much internally that it made no sense at all. Some stuff I haven't even scratched the surface of talking about here on this YouTube channel. I've shared some things, but yeah, those jobs, again, they look just good on paper. At least now I'm doing work that I can set my own schedule for. I can have slow mornings. I can ease into my day and not dread getting up to deal with certain people that I didn't like working with, if I'm being frank and honest. And furthermore, being a housekeeper, cleaning Airbnbs, cleaning buildings, et cetera, those jobs, I feel like if nobody were around to do them, these companies, these businesses, these schools, hospitals, whatever, would just run in shambles because who would want to patronize a dirty building, a dirty doctor's office, a dirty school, a dirty restaurant? Who would go to a place like that? So, to those working in the cleaning industry, hold your head up with pride because you are doing very important work. Because if you were not around, these companies would just be in shambles. They would just fall apart because nobody will want to support a dirty, nasty, roach infested building or business, right? So, again, keep your head up. You're doing very important work and don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Okay, I think I'm done preaching, but all in all, I just want to say that my definition of success has changed from wanting to climb the corporate ladder to get all these degrees to now just wanting to build something that brings me peace, time freedom, and the clarity I need to step into the next phase of my life. And I want to tell you, if your definition of success does not involve climbing the corporate ladder, that is perfectly fine. You do not need external validation in order to live a fulfilled and purposeful life. Just simply wanting a calm and meaningful life is a very valid ambition. Now, I'm not telling y'all to not work, to not do anything with your life, but just, sit around and be calm and meditate all the time. But I'm saying that in order to find your path in life, your true path in life, you must take a reset. And like I said, I've provided some resources down in the description that's going to help you with resetting your life if that's what you want to do. But ultimately, I want to share that corporate America taught me that peace is something that they cannot give you at all. Peace is something you have to definitely choose, protect, and sometimes rearrange your whole life in order to find it. So, beautiful people, that's my video for today. If anything I said resonates with you, please leave a comment down below. I love to read your comments. I love to respond to them and keep the conversation going. If you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It is totally free for you, but it's going to help me out a lot. I've set a goal for myself to get 5,000 subscribers by the end of July. I think it was June, if I'm not mistaken. The end of June. Anyway, it's my goal to get 5,000 subscribers pretty soon. So help me get there. And if you're watching this video on your smartphone, please be sure to hype this video. That's going to help me out as well. And last but not least, if you click on the links in my description, it'll take you directly to my Amazon store, where if you purchase something that's featured on my store, I'll get a teeny tiny commission. So I just wanted to let you know that. But anyway, thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.